What's up, Raiders? Today we are going to talk about how to take down the Vigilant Steward Zskarn. This is the 6th boss of Aberrus, the Shadow Crucible raid in World of Warcraft Dragonflight. This is a single stage boss fight. The boss will start in the middle, the tanks need to rush in, pick him up, and pull him over to the side. The ranged DPS need to go into the center, and the melee need to keep themselves between the center and the boss. Small traps litter the platform, and he's going to be periodically activating the closest 3. We need to move the boss away from the now active traps, kiting him around the outside of the room. As the room fills up with traps, golems are going to spawn around the outside of the arena, and they're going to move towards traps. DPS need to go in, stun them, and kill them. Then loot an item that will help them deactivate traps. So these Dragonfire traps are the core effect of the boss, and they are everywhere. He's going to activate 3 of them, and then you need to get him away from those before you take too much damage from the lava. This is going to be constantly rotating around the outside of the room, avoiding those traps. When the boss reaches 100 energy, he's going to activate one of the dragon heads nearby and wipe out that side of the arena with some fire. You need to just get out of it until that dragon head stops channeling in that area. As the fight progresses, he activates more and more dragon heads, shrinking the amount of safe space that you have to get to. On Heroic, Zskarn marks multiple players with red arrows on their heads, and then they will pulse fire damage around them. Just spread those players out and make sure you're not tagging anybody with your damage. He also tosses out these shrapnel bombs, which explode for huge damage when touched. The off-tank needs to go and pick these up, using a defensive cooldown to soak the damage. Alternatively, anybody with an immunity is able to go through and wipe those out. Healers need to worry about Blast Wave. This is going to knock all players back and then put a pretty decent dot on everybody that needs to be healed through quickly. Searing Claws is the tank buster. This is stacking fire damage on the tank that lasts for 20 seconds. That means that you need to taunt off at between 5 to 7 stacks usually. It can go higher than that depending on what your dodge rate was, if you're able to get away from those claws. Throughout the fight, these golems spawn and run towards a trap and begin channeling. If you can stun them, interrupt them, and kill them, they will fall over, and then you can loot them to get a special action button that will allow you to deactivate some of the traps. This is core to this fight. You need to be picking these up and deactivating the traps closest to the middle so that you have as much middle space as possible. You can leave the outermost traps because that side of the map is not that important, but the central traps must be deactivated. Once you get a handle on all these mechanics, you should be able to take down Zskarn, the Vigilant Steward. I hope this guide helped you figure out how to take down this boss.